Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures.
I appreciate you being here with me at the Stanley Scuba Sailing and Adventures World Headquarters. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today, we're going to take a look at the Ulefone RugKing 5 Pro. All right, let's dig in. The first thing that jumps out at me is the IP68 water rating and the 20,000 milliamp battery life. Wow. It's got a bunch of other features. I'm going to share the complete feature list at the very end of the video, all the specs I grabbed from the website. So if you want to see all those details, you can find them at the end of the video. So let's quickly get this thing open and see what's in the box. So what's in the box? We have a wrist lanyard, some paperwork, and a tempered glass screen protector. Of course, the phone itself, a charging cable, and a non-US charging plug. Let's take a look at the phone itself. It's pretty rugged. It's got a lot of weight to it. That extra battery really makes a difference, but I'm assuming if you're getting this phone, it's not just to carry it around in your pocket to the mall. Definitely solid construction. There's some texture here to make it grippable. This nice large light. There's a flash and 3 different camera lenses here on the back. One of them is a night vision lens, which we'll look at. A programmable button, and then this button for the light. And then on the bottom, we have a space for the lanyard and the charging port with cover. I'm assuming you have to have that cover closed to meet the water resistance or water rating. Let's dig into the phone itself. We'll peel off this protective screen, turn it on, and get into the setup. This is an Android OS, which I am unfamiliar with, but I will do my best to stumble through it. This looks like a pretty generic setup, and we'll click through that. And we're going to set this up offline for now. So I'm not going to connect it to my Wi-Fi just yet. Because we're offline, we will manually select our time zone and set the date and time. I am going through the fingerprint setup. This seems pretty cool. And I definitely don't have this feature on my iPhone. I don't know if this is a regular feature on Android, but it's really pretty cool because you just kind of hold your finger over this button on the side. The process to set it up is pretty easy, and once I set it up, it worked really well. Yeah, you just kind of barely touch your finger on the side. A couple other generic menus and things to accept, turn off or turn on, and then you're ready to go. It's really nice that it came with this tempered glass screen protector, and I'm absolutely going to put it on immediately because I am terribly tough on phone screens. So I don't ever go without one of these. And I probably should have cleaned the screen before I put this on. You can see I've got some dust underneath it. Let's check out this camping light on the back. That's about half brightness right there. That's pretty incredible. And there are some different settings here. Strobe, SOS, and always lighting. I'm not sure what the difference is between always lighting and lighting. And then there's a runtime you can set at the bottom. I guess you don't want that to stay on too long. Probably gets pretty hot. I turned down the studio lights so you could maybe get a better sense of how bright this light really is. It's not doing it justice on the video here, but it is really intense. It also has what I'll call the standard flashlight. Like most phones, you have a flashlight function and it utilizes the camera's flash. So you have that here as well. We'll go outside and take some pictures, but right now I want to take a look at this night vision. And this, to me, is a really cool feature. Let me turn off the studio lights. That is pretty incredible. I did not expect it to work that well. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed. It is totally dark here in the studio. I have the blinds and drapes closed, blackout on the windows, and the door closed, and this is incredible. This feature definitely exceeds expectations. And I guess it uses those two little red lights in some manner. I mentioned this phone's giant battery. One of my favorite features is this really does act as a battery pack as well. You can reverse charge with this phone. So I'm just going to plug my GoPro battery charger into the phone and we'll throw a battery in and it should start charging. So I guess when you're out in the field, you can use this, like I said, as a battery pack or reserve power source to charge your accessories. This GoPro battery is already charged, but I'll grab a different one that needs some charge and we'll throw that in. Here I've added a couple other GoPro batteries and you can see those are in fact charging. The display screen is nice and bright, and I wanted to demonstrate the display as best I could, so all I could come up with is videoing the screen in the studio. So I've turned down the studio lights and going to turn on one of my YouTube videos. I selected one of my videos to ensure no copyright infringement. I don't know what the rules are. I think there are some exceptions for teaching or demonstrations, but didn't want any complications. So here's a look at one of my videos on the display. I'm not sure it's doing it justice. Again, this is a video of a video, but hopefully you get an idea of the clarity and brightness of the screen. This is dive number 7 in this 19-part dive series. Scuba diving, St. Kitts and Saba. And the setup is quite a bit different as far as the rigging. I've been sailing on this boat before, and it's always a pleasure. In the studio, I decided to take 2 photos of the paper charts I have, and then also take those same photos with the night vision lens. I was really impressed with the clarity again of the night vision lens. I know I mentioned that earlier, but even taking a picture of a paper chart and then being able to zoom in, the detail and clarity was not lost with the night vision lens. I could really see using this in a pinch to be able to review a chart at night if you didn't have any other light. Not that that's the way you'd want to do it, but it is an option. Next, I decided to head outside for some additional video and photo tests. This is just standing still and panning. And here's me walking with the video. I'm not sure if there was a stabilization option, but this is default settings. I was really pleased with the photo quality. I did have to enlarge the photos a little to fill the screen on the video timeline. That enlargement was about 0.5. I took this photo and then, without moving, used the camera's zoom. So this is the same position, just using the phone's camera internal zoom. Again, still enlarged to fit the video timeline. Here's a little bit of what the audio sounds like. Normal talking level. You can probably hear some of the birds in the background. Here's a walking audio test. Walking audio test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll share my final thoughts and observations while I display the phone specs from the manufacturer's website on the screen for you. After spending a couple of weeks with the Ulefone RugKing 5 Pro, I can honestly say this phone exceeded my expectations. One thing I really appreciated was the dual SIM support. This will make a huge difference for me when traveling offshore and visiting different islands. I actually ordered a SIM online, installed it, and the phone functionality worked flawlessly. Calls, connectivity, everything performed exactly the way I'd hoped it would. It also supports a microSD card, which ended up being incredibly useful during my testing, and I can see myself using that functionality going forward. I use the microSD card to transfer photos and video directly from the phone over to my computer, and having that expandable storage just made the whole process easy and convenient. In regard to the battery, the 20,000 milliamp battery is absolutely insane. During the couple of weeks I used the phone, the battery never dropped below 80%. Not once, and yes, the phone is heavier than your average device, but honestly, for me, that extra weight is completely worth it considering the battery life and the reverse charging capability. When you're out on adventures, traveling, diving, camping, or away from power for long periods of time, that becomes incredibly valuable. The camping light on this thing is extremely bright. That's one of those features that sounds gimmicky until you actually use it in the real world, and then you realize how useful it really is. Another feature I ended up loving was the night vision camera, especially in low light situations like looking at charts or equipment in the dark. You can zoom in and still maintain impressive detail and image quality. That turned out to be far more practical than I originally expected. Honestly, the overall look and feel of the phone is just great. It feels solid, premium, rugged, and capable. The display looks and works great, the screen is sharp and vibrant, and the entire experience has just been enjoyable from day one. I went into this review with reasonable expectations, but this phone genuinely exceeded them. In fact, I like it so much, I may even start using it as my daily carry phone.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.